Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a great week. Let me tell you what, I am just fired up for this week's devotional. I wanted to talk to you guys more in a fashion of like encouragement, okay? And I know it's already June. I can't believe we're already in June. I feel like Christmas just happened. And a lot of us have been, pedal to the metal, serving a lot, pouring into camps. Now we're about to pour into special needs camp. And then we've got all these other events like young adults and stuff like that coming up that feels like it's just never ending, And I wanted to talk to you guys about just remembering the why of what we're doing, right? Like, what is our mission statement? It's reaching the valley for Christ. And I wanted to bring you guys first just some awareness and just some encouragement and just some like, hey, we see you kind of moments. We've had a couple of busy weeks. We're serving lots. We're doing things that aren't necessarily glamorous or necessarily fun to do. It's really hard in those moments to remind ourselves of the bigger picture. The why are we here? Why are we doing all of these things, right? And so for those who come in midweek and cook the bacon or smoke wings over the fall, for those who volunteer and grill burgers on the weekends, it's hot. Sometimes it's miserable out there. For those who come in on Tuesdays and lift the bar mats and clean off all the sticky stuff from all the syrup and clean the soda machine, for those who come in and make the wraps and salads on Fridays, like it's a special task to sit there and fold 12 times over 5 slices of turkey. So if you do that math real quick, it's the most tedious little thing that, again, just makes such an impact to make, the 12 wraps that we make every single week. Not to mention the fruit cups, the fruit parfaits. Again, it's repetitive stuff, right? That just doesn't seem to end. The person that fills the ice bins or folds the pizza boxes, refills the chips, makes the drinks at the coffee shop, cleans the grill cart after the weekend services, does the dishes and mops the floor. These are all perpetual tasks that aren't glamorous, that aren't fun to do necessarily, and that just don't seem to end, right? Like if we show up and do that, it's because he shows up for us. Okay. So that is the why, right? Like we are commanded to further the kingdom. And how do we do that? Right? It's all these little tasks that need to happen. Because if we didn't, I wouldn't have stories like these to share with you. This is the fun part of my job, is helping to connect the dots for you guys as to like, what is our why? So there's a little girl that went to kids camp this past week, last week, right? This past week. And she was, her family had just started coming to CCV and just sort of entertained the idea of putting her in camp. And she was like, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if I belong. I don't know if I'm going to make any friends. I don't know if anyone's going to like me. I don't know if I'm going to have any fun. She was really at odds with the whole situation. Parents dropped her off for camp and she ended up having an amazing time. Can't wait to come back, and just made so many cool little friends. And now is just looking forward to showing up every weekend. And so I also brings me to another kiddo. I woke up to a text message from Jake this morning about a kiddo named Seth, who just was really just kind of reserved, maybe a little bit more on the fence throughout his faith walk so far. Went to camp, took a chance, went to camp, and apparently is just thriving and has, like, even in Jake's words, where he was like, I can't even believe like some of the stuff that's coming out of his mouth, like how convicted he is, and just how on fire for Christ he is, and just getting up and meeting the challenges and doing all the fun stuff. And he's just so on fire. And guys, this is what it's all about. That's why we mop the floors, fill up the chips, clean the stations. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it's all about. Our next generation and others who don't quite know Jesus or don't know him as well as you or I might are coming in and they're seeing an environment where they feel like they belong, they can truly be themselves. Guys, that is our why. That is why we do what we do. That is why we do all the little tasks that seem tedious and perpetual, that never want to end. That is why we do what we do. So we've got special needs camp coming up. Here's another one that, like, here's an opportunity that's right around the corner. We've got special needs camp coming up. That's on the 18th, where we get to invite their family and friends. And they come and we serve them hot dogs and hamburgers on the 18th. They're here that whole week, a couple days, but on the 18th is where they have like a water day, and they come and and we get to serve them, right? And so specifically, we serve their families so that any new special needs families or ones that have been coming can see that they belong too. So we've got a cool opportunity right around the corner. Again, the why we're reaching the valley, because when we show up and we do the tasks with a happy heart, it shows to others in our community what the grace of God and the love of God looks like. Because if God didn't show up for us, well, I don't think that's a world I want to see. So I'll leave you guys with this. Mark 10:45. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So love you guys. Hope you guys are keeping your chins up, having a great week. Even when it's rough, remember those perpetual tasks do have huge fundamental impacts for the valley. Love you guys. Can't do it without you. See you guys this weekend.